Time to be quiet. I left this on the board. Why I left this on the board was because this morning, first period, there was no teacher next door. Mr. May's sub didn't come. These are 7th graders. They had no home, so I brought them in here and sat them down. I didn't have anything else to do with them, so I said, hey, do you want to learn to diagram sentences? They had never diagrammed sentences before. I don't know if they were good students or bad. They said they were smart. Seems like they were. Anyway, by the end of the period, I didn't even spend the whole period. I showed them about a subject and a predicate. I showed them about prepositional phrases, which they didn't, well, there's no prepositional phrase here. But I showed them some stuff I haven't shown you guys yet, which is a direct object. And over here, they figured the direct object out. I showed them about a predicate adjective, which they sort of figured out here. And anyway, I wanted this on the board, and could you actually pan that and show that sentence and show their work? This was the boys, this was the girls. I was amazed at how fast they were able to do it. And I think if you've got a group of kids that really want to do this because it looked like fun to them, of course they all wanted to compete. But you know, and I also showed them compounding. You know, these are compound sentences. I showed them compound subjects, compound predicates. Now they did say they had heard of subjects and predicates, sort of. And they did say that they had memorized the prepositions. What I want to show you guys, and I'll just be real quick about it. Even though you can do really big sentences with coordinating conjunctions and compound sentence parts, and you've got prepositional phrases that can go on and on and on, you could not diagram these sentences, not with what I've taught you. He sings. You could diagram that. You could diagram he sings. But you could not diagram he sings a song. I mean, you could try, but you wouldn't diagram it right, not on what I've taught you because I haven't shown you this yet. You could also not diagram he is a singer. I haven't shown you how to do that. And I haven't shown you how to diagram he seems good. Say, as a singer, he seems good. You can't do that. Well, certain verbs, this you could do because here's a subject and here's a predicate. A verb is a word that shows action. But some verbs show an action that go across to something else. He doesn't just sing, he sings a song. I always use the image of I punch a nose. I could just punch and not be hitting anything, but if I punch a nose, now the action has gone across. That's called a transitive verb, and it's got trans in Latin. And the way you diagram that is here's your subject, here's your predicate. And if it is a transitive verb and has a direct object, then you put a vertical line like that, and there goes the direct object. Not a hard concept at all. So he sings a song, he sings song, and A would go there. Now, if it has no direct object, and see, every sentence I've had to make up so far, I've had to avoid that because I hadn't taught you about direct objects yet. If he sings a song and an opera, that would be strange. But this could end up being compound. Now he sings a song and opera, an aria, let's say. But that could be compound. All sentence parts can be compound. All right, now these others. He is a singer, he seems good. The reason you couldn't do that is because these are linking verbs, is and seems. And if you'll come over here, this chart, I've got it set up so the LV, the linking verbs, not everyone in the language, but here are the principal ones. And the verb to be is right in the middle. This is a very complicated verb. There's red letters on these as well as black letters because these can be helping verbs where they make a verb phrase. I've shown you that, but very briefly. But they can also be linking verbs. And in this case, the word is a linking verb and seems is a linking verb. Now what you do here, this is called a subject complement, but it falls in the predicate. And you have, so if it were he is a singer, he is, you put a sloped line like that. And an easy way to remember this is imagine an arrow on the end of it. This is going back to rename what he is. He is singer. And they say that isn't really an action verb at all. This is just linking these two things, like an equal sign. He is a singer. Now this would be a predicate nominative is what it's called. There's no difference in diagramming a predicate nominative from a predicate adjective. Seems is also a linking verb. But now good is an adjective. Once again, it is modifying he. He is good. And you don't put the arrow on there, but I think it's an easy way to remember it. So he seems good. Those are like this is an intransitive verb, has no direct object. The action doesn't go to anything. This is a transitive verb. It has a direct object. These are linking verbs. Here we've got a predicate nominative because it's a noun. Well, and here we've got a predicate adjective. It's in the predicate. That's why they call it predicate. It's in the predicate. But what it's doing is it's either renaming or modifying the subject. Now, that's a whole bunch. I'm teaching this stuff fast, but I just want you to be able to be competing. I got to mention a website too, www.competitivesentence.diagrammers.com. It's got a lot of this information on there.